This is going to be an interesting one. I'll tell you right off the bat, it's probably not going to be as chipper or lighthearted as some of the previous ones. But it's going to be interesting because I'm kind of torn between two different things here. Part of me wants to heed the advice of the friend that I just got off the phone with and try to stay positive, just kind of try to zone out and listen to music or something. Do what I've been doing the past week and just try to distract myself from the inevitable. Part of me wants to talk about it because maybe it'll help or something. Because with all the distancing myself from the reality of it that I've been doing, I wonder if I need to talk about it more so that I can fully process it. I mentioned in the previous video that a family dog is being put down. That's happening tomorrow. And, I've done plenty of crying, I've done plenty of grieving this past couple of weeks really, because as I said, it's been some time coming. But earlier tonight, it just hit me. My stepdad sent a picture of our dog in the little family group chat. Evidently they were taking him for one more car ride because he used to love car rides and he loved going on walks. He'd get really, really excited when we started getting him the leash and the bags for his poop. Whenever he was excited when we got home from something or whatever, he'd run to find one of his squeaky toys and he'd have it in his mouth while he came to greet us. And unless you were a stranger, well, if you're a stranger, he'd just bark at you. I don't know if he ever bit anyone. He fucked up a couple rabbits, but other than that, I don't think he ever hurt anyone. He was just a very patient and gentle dog. And there were times when I was still living at home that he'd, I'd be like laying on the couch and he'd come lay on my lap or something. Yeah, I could just go through a list or something. I remember there was, because I took him on a lot of walks when I was still living at home. And there was one time I figured I'd take him to the dog park because he really just didn't socialize with other dogs that much. Like, my aunt who lives nearby has some dogs. One in particular he was best buds with, but that dog he passed away a while ago. And he never really got along with the new ones that she's had, especially because I'm sure he's old, But yeah, I figured I'd take him to the dog park, see if he'd, socialize with the other dogs, and he didn't. He was kind of mortified by any dog that tried to approach him. And he just seemed like he didn't want to be there. And I remember feeling some kinship with him in that moment. Because this was back when I was still afraid of anyone approaching me and talking to me. No, I'm just kind of desperate for it. I'm sure more specific memories will come to me as, you know, time goes on. I'm sure plenty will be brought up tomorrow. And I was worried about fucking trauma dumping in the last video. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is already a bummer. I don't know. I don't know if this is ever going to be anything else. I don't know. Like I said, I'm out here walking because I got on the phone with a friend bawling just because I needed someone to talk to. And, you know, now I'm out here still walking around. So I figured I'd hold up a phone to my face, do what I usually do, and just, I don't know, it just feels natural at this point, which is crazy because I haven't even been doing this for that long. But as soon as I stepped outside, it suddenly just felt a little easier to talk. It's getting a little harder now because my throat is dry. But I could go seek out one of these drinking fountains. There's also a couple just kind of sitting by that car over there. I might wait for them to leave or something. I'm in this big old area that I guess you could call a sports complex. It's completely outside, but it's just like a bunch of sports fields, I guess you could say, like kind of grouped together. There's paths and parking lots between them all, but it's clearly all part of like one deal. What are they doing? Okay, I'm just gonna go around. Maybe find another one. Is that one over there? I can't tell. I think it is. Let's go exploring, shall we? He also told me not to stay up too late. I'm gonna try, because I've been sleeping like shit the past few days, but I don't know. I can't guarantee anything. Either way, I'm probably gonna be downing a sleeping pill tonight, because I just can't afford to. I can't rely on my circadian rhythm anymore. I woke up like an hour before my alarm this morning, and I managed to get back to sleep, but I only got like 6 hours or something. I'm sure there's gonna be at least one person listening who hears 6 hours of sleep and goes, yeah, so get more sleep, you freak. We have, you know, these medical averages for a reason. 8 hours is the healthy amount. You know, give or take like an hour. If you get 6 hours of sleep, you're depriving your body of one of its the most important resources. You're not cool for being unhealthy. Anyway, I'm sure this wind is not obnoxious at all. Yeah, okay, there's a stall type thing over here. I just wonder if there's a drinking fountain. There's the paranoia. Every once in a while when I'm out on these walks, I start getting paranoid because, you know, I'm like surrounded by darkness. I'm mostly alone. Realistically, I don't think anything's gonna happen to me. I'm in like a decent part of town, I guess you could say. I don't know. Oh, there's a drinking fountain over there. All right, I'm at least gonna venture over there. Oh no, there's one right here. Never mind, I don't have to. That's the never punished lifestyle. Yeah, you guys are staying on the line with me while I do this. Welcome back to the show. Not exactly eager to get back to the topic that I was talking about earlier. I don't know how much more there is to say. There's nothing else to do. He's 16 years old. He can barely move around on his own anymore. He's kind of stopped eating. He doesn't drink as much anymore. He seems to have lost control of, his bladder. It's just clear that it's his time, because he's just not doing well. And so, I think we've all as a family come to realize and understand that at this point it's mercy. We're doing what's best for him by doing this. It's the best case scenario. He's 16 fucking years old. That's old for a dog. He's lived a long life. He's lived a very happy life. He was always so loved by all of us. He was even loved by, people who weren't in the house. Like when grandparents would come over, they would coddle him too. Just everybody who meets him loved him. It's worth saying his name, I guess. His name is Buddy. And after tomorrow, Buddy will no longer be with us. After 12, 13 years of having him in the family. After 16 years of life. My parents have arranged to have it done in our house, so he'll be in his bed and he'll just be put to sleep. He's lived a long, happy life. It'll be peaceful and painless. You won't really even know what's happening, so it's the best case scenario. It's the best life I'd really hope for a dog to have. The best death you could hope for a dog to have. It doesn't make it easy, though. Of course it doesn't. Even with all these, you make all the logical statements you want. The reality is, our ape brains just really, really struggle with the idea of something that was in your life no longer being there. I'm probably going to be making so many gross noises, all this swallowing and licking my lips. I've grieved before. I've been confronted with death, a few times. But the most I've grieved was for a person that didn't even die. And when I've experienced death, it was never this close. It was never this personal. I gotta find another drinking fountain. This is rough. That one had a little power behind it. I got hit in the nose. It didn't go up my nose, luckily. Yeah, this is rough. Shit sucks, doesn't it? Oh, many woes. The reality is of living as a temporary being. Okay, it's not. It's like a pepper or something smashed on the ground there. Okay, I just wondered for like a second if it was blood. It was not. Yeah, I don't know. It's just. It's part of life, you know. This isn't the first time it's happened. It's not going to be the last. This is the hardest death I've ever gone through. But there will be worse in the future. So I haven't lost anyone. I haven't lost any close friends or relatives. Again, I've grieved for a friend because, you know, I cut contact with them. So in essence, they were in my life and then they were not. I don't know. They're still alive, so it's a little different, I guess. No, all my immediate family and siblings are here. Still here. I lost a great grandma. I mean, it was mostly tough being at the funeral. So I was never that close to her, but you know, it's always sad when someone dies, and I'm an empath, and so being in a room full of people who are mourning is a tough time for me. And that's going to make tomorrow even harder. Because I'm going to be doing plenty of grieving on my own. But I'm also going to have my entire family grieving around me. My mom's been a wreck, and that's been really hard to watch because he used to stick to her like Velcro. You know, we all love that dog, but I guess just by proximity, she and him would have been the closest, and you know, she's just an emotional and empathetic person. She worries about us. She worries about him. And I can tell this has been extraordinarily hard for her. Like I said, that just really, really sucks to see. I don't like seeing people crying, just in general, but it's really tough when it's her. I don't know, I think for once in my life I need to stop trying to avoid it. I need to be there for her. I need to be there for all of them. I don't feel like trying to dispel this with something like quippy or dismissive. Because, you know, distraction has its place in the grieving process, but I think if you want to really process something, you do just have to sit with it. You have to let yourself sit in those emotions. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now, I guess. And that's what I did earlier tonight when I cried harder than I have in a long, long time. I'm not even that much of a crier. Not that much, like, because there were some movies that really fucking pushed me close. Avengers Endgame was one of them, and I'm not even because I was like emotionally invested in the MCU or anything. I never cared that much. I saw Infinity War and Endgame so that I could be part of a cultural event, basically. And I don't know. I just think that they did a good job making Tony Stark's death sad. So it really got to me bad. I think Toy Story 3 as well, but that one's harder to remember because that movie came out like 30 years ago. That's an exaggeration. And then, fuck, what's the name of that movie? I think it's called I Can Only Imagine, because I know that's the name of the song that the movie kind of makes its focal point. I'm not gonna, like, make any claims to the movie's quality because one, I saw it once, like, several years ago. And two, it is a biopic about a Christian, like, musician. So, as far as I'm aware, like, he's actually a decent guy. And as far as I'm aware, there's nothing, like, problematic about the movie. I'm just trying to remain neutral on it, I guess. Except when I say that, that sequence where he's reconciling with his dying dad, that got me to be bad. So I've always, been capable of emotions, obviously. I can be brought to crying. Music has done it too. Wings for Marie by Tool, Memento Mori by Architects, to name a couple. And then before even all this, I was brought pretty close to the point of tears by like some Violet Pony songs, like Huntress and The Kid Who Kept Running. But I gotta tell you, I've been very, very emotional these past couple weeks. And it is much, much easier these days to make me cry. Or at the very least, like, tear up, because the thing is with those movies, I didn't let myself cry. Because, I don't know, I just have this, like, instinctual urge to not cry, which I know isn't healthy. When, I think it would be the first time I, like, really experienced death. One of my dad's dogs had to be put down. And when he sat my sister and I down and told us, I refused to cry, even though I was fucking devastated. I don't know. I say these days I'm a little more open about it, but especially when I've been with my family lately, I've had to, like, keep my composure many times. So the last time I was with them, I openly cried with my mom. Certainly wouldn't be the first time she's been there with me while I've been in some low moments. But yeah, it's something I just, again, instinctually try to avoid, but this time I didn't. This time I probably couldn't. Like, I'm not gonna be able to restrain myself tomorrow. I'm gonna be a fucking mess. I think we're all gonna be a mess. There's really no use hiding it. There's no shame in it because we're all gonna be sobbing wrecks. Yeah, it's I know it's not gonna be easy. This coming weeks, it's just I'm just hoping that there's some relief on the other side, knowing that it's done, knowing that the hardest part is over, and that he's not suffering anymore. Jesus, I'm still struggling to keep it together. Yeah, like I said, it's rough. It's rough. I mean, statistically, most of the 5 people who are going to watch this have experienced death in some capacity, so I'm sure you know what it's like. And even though, they're pets, we can't connect with them like we do humans. We don't know them as long as we can know a human. But it's so hard. 'Cause, I mean, at the end of the day, what matters less than, their properties is how much you love them. Like, you can grieve over an object, if you love that object. And it's because we love our pets that we grieve them. And you can grieve a pet more than you can grieve a person. Like, this has been substantially more difficult for me than the death of my great grandma. The day that I went to her funeral, that was really rough. That was another time when I just didn't let myself cry. But it was a very difficult day, but I don't remember any prolonged sadness after it. I don't really remember grieving beforehand. But I've been grieving for well over a week now. And God knows how long I'll be grieving afterwards. But I know it'll be at least a week. Because in a week from now, when I visit my parents on Tuesday, like I normally do, it's going to hit me all over again. Because he's not going to be there. Yeah, that's kind of an example of what I was talking about. I just couldn't hold it back anymore. Oh, that is a tiny ass rabbit. we'd lose him for a little while every once in a while he was outside because he'd go chasing a rabbit. But yeah, I mean, this was never going to be an easy listen, because I'm sure it's apparent from my voice that I'm barely holding it together. But I don't need to record myself openly weeping. That just seems tacky. I don't know when I'm going to upload this. I don't know when I'm going to be ready to listen to all of this again. Fuck, what day is it? 23rd? Oh, Friday was the 18th. No, it's the 21st. It's the 21st of July. Recording this on the 21st of July, probably around midnight at this point. It's another beautiful, muggy day in South Dakota. And on this muggy day, this muggy night in South Dakota, some state that people barely remember, there's a guy walking through the streets of his neighborhood alone, mourning an animal that not too many people outside of my family even know. I guess maybe a few more people will know about him because of this, but I don't know. I guess us humans have this thing with remembering people, just anything we care about, you know. We'll be remembering Buddy. We'll be remembering Buddy for the rest of our lives. He was a big part of our lives, and I mean, you know, going forward, I'm going to be spending the majority of my life without him. But I don't know, like, in this moment, I spent the majority of my life with him. And we don't feel the emotions that we do because of, you know, the long-term impact of the thing we're experiencing. We experience emotions based on the experiences that we've lived through up to that point. And then it's those emotions that could create the memories that create the impact on our lives. Of course, there's some nuance to that. Like, I grieve partly because I have the understanding that my dog passing away means that in the future he's no longer going to be there. But I mean, again, that only hurts so much because of all the time that I've spent with him. I don't know if my family's going to get another dog. Obviously, I won't stop them if they do. Not that I could. I wouldn't disagree with the decision, I guess. If we can give another dog a loving home, then that's a good thing. And it'll never be to replace Buddy, because, again, just anybody who has been through this understands that you can't replace an animal. You just can't. I remember seeing like a bit of a reality show. This couple had a daughter who seemed pretty devastated by the loss of a family dog, and so they got her a new one. They got a new dog, and they let her name the new dog. She gave it the name of their old dog, and I strongly disapproved of them just letting her. Then again, they were on camera. That's a kind of complicated conversation to have, you know, when said conversation is going to be put on national television. But like, I just don't think you should do that. I don't think you should let her give it the name of the old dog, because I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. It's a different like creature. It's a different animal. It just makes it feel like it is a replacement for the other dog when it's not. It's its own being, you know? So there's no other being that will ever come into our lives that will replace Buddy for us. I just, you know, wonder if my family will miss having a dog, and if they did get a new dog, that new dog will have one of the best homes it can probably get. Because, like I said, my parents, they love that dog. This has been really, really hard for them. Like, my parents are good people. And I always feel the need to stress that, because I'm primarily in queer communities, and for anyone else who's in queer communities, you know that there are a lot of shitty fucking parents out there. I'd wager most of the friends that I have at the very least like emotionally negligent parents and abusive parents, you know, at worst. It's like depressingly common. And so I just try to like really appreciate the parents that I have, because not only are they just good people at heart, but they've demonstrated the capacity to like change and learn. Like they're more empathetic, they're more understanding than they used to be. They've become more accepting of like my queer identity, my sister's queer identities. Just, you know, all that. So they love us to pieces, and they make it known. And I think they'd always, you know, prioritize us before a dog, but, you know, just seeing them go about their daily lives, you might not guess that, because they treated Buddy like another kid. Again, he had probably the best life he could have gotten. And what we're gonna do tomorrow is the best decision that we can make for him. It's just that I am I'm really, really gonna miss him.